Time now for your JCTV Daily News Update with the latest in news.
His message to students was one of hope and the best way to handle life's setbacks.
Covering your local weather.
And their chilling effects will be -15, so stay bundled up and don't go anywhere without some kind of a hat.
And the latest in Jimmy athletics.
Ahead to Kelsey, lays it up and in, and he's fouled.
For your JCTV Daily News Update, here's Kallie Merrill.
Good evening, I'm Kallie Merrill and would like to welcome you to JCTV News, where we provide you with the latest news here on campus and in the Jamestown community. Jamestown College Student Senate elections start tomorrow. One of the positions up for re-election is Student Senate Secretary. The two secretary nominees are Maggie McLean and Jeremy Olson. Maggie is a sophomore from Hillsborough, North Dakota, majoring in psychology, and Jeremy is a freshman from Jamestown, majoring in nursing. Thanks for coming, Maggie. Jeremy was unable to make the regular broadcast, but will have his answers to the following questions as well. First of all, why don't you begin by telling us why you'd like to be Student Senate Secretary?
Well, I would really like to be Student Senate Secretary because I've been on Senate for almost a year now and I've really enjoyed my time, and I would like to further my experience in Senate and further my service to the student body.
I would say mostly because I'm a really organized person. The job responsibilities seem like they'd be a piece of cake to me. I enjoy being organized, and one part is that I really want to get the Student Senate webpage back up to date, because that's what students access, and it's not very up to date. So I just figure if that's up to date, students can know what's going on in the Senate. I think I'd be able to keep all of the proper records up to date, and I just would pretty much enjoy it.
What makes you qualified for this position?
Well, I think I'm a really hardworking person, and I'm really organized, and I can listen really well in the meetings, and I can take really good notes, and I think that would be very helpful to be a secretary, considering you are the one informing the rest of the Senate about what went on during the meeting and taking very detailed records. So hopefully I'll do a good job. I have a lot of confidence in this. My
work committees too that I'm on, I take minutes for that. I've helped take minutes for my student council at high school. I've served on 2 committees here as the head chair of the semi-formal and the Sanford committee, and then I'm also on the resolution writing committee.
I think a lot of students don't really take the Student Senate as seriously as they should. How important is a student's voice on campus?
Without the students, there is no campus, so the student's voice really is the most important thing here. We are the main part of this campus. We are the main part of this school. Without our input, nothing will get done, and we'd be very unhappy here.
I think the students' voice on campus is pretty critical because, we report many issues coming from the students. The very first thing in a student senate meeting is reports from our constituents. The same thing is before we make any decisions, we'll inform our constituents first before we, vote on something. So that their voice is in, not just kind of our voice. I encourage everyone to read. We send out our weekly Senate reports, and I pretty much encourage everyone to read them, reply back with comments, concerns, just better ways to get our campus more good, better.
All right. As a final question, what is an important issue Student Senate is looking into for the future?
Well, important issues. We're basically just looking into improving things that we already have that we're not using to their full advantage, like the little patio outside of the cafeteria that doesn't get used even when the weather is nice. Just little things to kind of make the campus a little more homey and get things done that should have been done a while ago but just got pushed to the wayside.
I think it'd be good to, in my opinion, I'd say to get the bylaws redone. I don't know when the last they were put up to date, but
and why is that?
I just I was reading the bylaws once. I don't know if it's just the websites but they're look under this section, and then you go there and that section's not even there. So I just figured it'd be good to get those kind of caught back up to date.
All right. Thank you so much for being our guest this evening. Be sure to tune in tomorrow to hear from our vice president candidates. Polls open at 12 noon and close at Friday at 5 p.m. Students can vote once through email or by ballot in front of the cafeteria. In other local news, the Army Corps of Engineers stopped construction on emergency dikes in Jamestown yesterday. Officials found the weather equivalent of snowpack upstream of the Jamestown and Pipestem dams to be less than in earlier forecasts. The work that has been done will remain in place until the risk of the reservoirs reaching record levels has passed, and both companies constructing the dikes will hold off until Thursday once officials have reassessed the situation. Many Americans have been glued to the news as the passing of the new health care bill made its way through the House. According to the Fargo Forum, President Barack Obama was all smiles as he signed the historic $938 billion health care overhaul that guarantees coverage to over 32 million uninsured Americans. The forum also stated that this is the biggest shift in U.S. domestic policy since the 1960s, and some say the signature accomplishment of our president thus far. For the weather, tonight will be mostly cloudy with a low of 25 degrees and winds ranging from 5 to 15 miles per hour coming in from the north. Tomorrow, the high should be right around 46 degrees with mostly sunny day. Wind gusts may get up to 21 miles per hour, carrying us into a slight chance of rain or snow into the evening. There will be a better chance of rain Friday with a high of 50. As Friday night cools down, the rain may turn into an icy and snowy mix, so be careful if you're traveling that evening. The rain has a chance of sticking around Saturday with a high around 42. The sun will come out again on Sunday with a high around 38 degrees. For Jimmy's sports, the baseball team finally got a chance to play yesterday. The team swept Midland Lutheran College 12-3 and 6-0. In the first game, junior Griffin Sweezy contributed 3 great hits to the team's total of 13, including a double, 3 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. Teammates Eric Church and Tim Penner also had 2 hits, Church with a double. The Jimmies continued to shine into the second game as Ryan Iliff threw a complete game shutout, allowing only 3 hits while striking out 3 Warriors. Kyle Montgomery doubled twice during the second game, and Jesse Ramirez hit a 2-run homer. The Jimmies played Morningside, Iowa today in a single 9-inning game, so tune in tomorrow for those results. That concludes our Tuesday night JCTV News Update. I'm Kallie Merrill, connecting the campus with the community. Have a wonderful evening.